Welcome to the channel by Dr. GR for general tips. In this video class, we see about what is meant by gauge to measure Bero, cart and sheet thickness. How is the thickness quality of metal sheet is decided for usage. How is the gauge calculation is done and its importance etc. may be seen. Mostly when purchasing Bero or cart or sheet, usually we talk about this gauge, that is thickness of sheet. In practice, to decide about the quality and rate, this gauge details are used also in some wire diameter specifications. This gauge is a mere number. There is no unit for this gauge, but equal to each gauge number, inch size or millimeter is given correspondingly used in the practice based on a standard table chart as shown here. Hence, the sheet and wire gauge table that is shown here also is a part of total table for reference for understanding the concept. Further, this table is suitable for steel metal only and not applicable for other metals like aluminium, copper, etc. because the thickness of other metals may vary based on their density and weight. Also, for these metals, other tables may be referred. Now, talking to this steel metal plate and wire, it was structured and started by old British system. It was found based on inches and even today it is used with equivalent millimeter values also. The standard by British system was a weight of 41.82 pounds with 1 square feet with 1 inch thickness of steel metal that was taken as the fundamental basis for the gauge system developed. Based on this only, the table was created. Regarding method of table creation details and thickness calculation, we will see at the video end. Now, the British units as shown, 1 pound equal to 454 grams, that is under the conversions. Further, 1 feet equal to 30 centimeter or 300 millimeter is approximate in practice, but the correct measurement is as it is shown here. 1 feet equal to 30.48 centimeter or 304.8 millimeter. Similarly, 1 inch equal to 25 millimeter is also approximate and actual is 1 inch equal to 25.4 millimeter as shown here. Further, the gauge we are talking here is only SWG system numbers, that is standard wire gauge, that is SWG. There are also other system gauges in use, but we normally use only this SWG system in regular practice. For example, steel cart or Bero, that is Almera purchase, usually 16 gauge to 24 gauge may be used in practice, that is in the table. It represents between various thickness from 16 gauge, that is equal to 1.63 millimeter, and 24 gauge, that is equal to 0.56 millimeter. However, the table has been given for example from 16 gauge to 33 gauge, and even this is also a part of the table only for reference. Here, one thing is to be noted as important. The gauge number is inversely proportional to thickness. That is, when gauge number is increasing, the thickness shown in inches as well as in millimeter is getting decreased, and vice versa as shown in table. For example, to understand, 18 gauge number is 1.22 millimeter thickness, but greater than this number 20 gauge is 0.91 millimeter thickness only. Because of this thickness is in decreasing mode for higher gauge numbers, that is, the cost of 20 gauge purchase items is lesser comparing to 18 gauge purchase items. Also, in other words, when cost is lower, checking for the gauge also to ensure the required quality comparison for the cost. Like this, lesser gauge numbers 18, 16, 14, etc. are also in increasing rate of cost and thickness mode respectively. Now, regarding this table, its basis is only due to weight, density and square feet, etc. There would not be uniform weight decrease or increase, and it would be only in exponential form of nature. Now we see the mathematical details as shown here to decide about the thickness calculation. First, under the British system for thickness calculation, the rules are found by them. That is, standard steel plate equal to 41.82 pounds are taken, and the standard area has been taken as 1 feet into 1 feet, that is 1 square feet. Standard thickness is taken as 1 inch only. For this 1 square feet plate, T in terms of inches equal to X in terms of pounds divided by 41.82 pounds is the relationship to find the thickness of the sheet. In this formula, when weight is known in pounds, thickness can be calculated in inches. Likewise, when thickness is known in inches, the weight can be calculated in pounds. Examples are shown here to understand the concept. Examples: first, taking X is equal to 1 pound is the weight for 1 square feet size plate, then T is equal to 1 by 41.82 equal to 0.0239 inches, that is thickness is equal to 0.0239 inches, that is between 23 and 24 gauge or 24 gauge in short. When X is equal to 2 pounds is taken as weight, that is the plate weight. In that case, the thickness of the plate will be 2 by 41.82 equal to 0.0478 inch, that is SWG gauge number 18. Now the actual gauge concept is, when 1 square feet plate weight increases based on thickness within 1 inch gap, the number of plates will decrease. Indirectly, this is the deciding factor of the gauge number. That is, thickness increase lead to weight increase, hence gauge number lowers for the increased thickness. This is the thickness calculating method for finding out the gauge number. The other details, if at all anything required in other topics, may be taken in the next video. Okay, subscribe to the channel without forgetting, and this is by Dr. GR. Thank you.